quite an exciting day for us today. I can't believe how wonderful this Calabash book is, and I just want to tell you a little bit about how we've got to today. This Caribbean Calabash, which is sharing Leicester's Caribbean memories, how's it come about? There was a book that was published in 2001, which was an inspiration for the new book, and it was written. And this one was written to commemorate 200 years since the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade. We wanted to look at together what are the implications. What is there today that shows where we've come from, how we've got here, and we need to record some of that evidence that we can find in the community that otherwise might just disappear from people's memories. So this is a really important project. So, what was key to recording some of those key things? The idea came up that we should look at Caribbean remedies, memories and stories. And this book is a commemorative book dedicated to the memory of the African people who lived and died during the transatlantic slave trade. And along with the website, which we'll have a look at in a few minutes, of the same name, it will honour the strength and resilience of those men and women in the bicentennial year of the trade's abolition. The Calabash website was set up with many intentions, one of which is to generate dialogue amongst peoples of African descent on the basis of each one teach one style of communication. The stories of herbal cures were used to beautify, heal wounds, calm the soul, and where possible minimise threats to well-being, and those still apply today. We were just talking earlier on about all of the sort of herbal remedies, and that approach to healing and being a well person is very much in fashion now, highly relevant stuff. So who brought all this stuff together? There's a Black History Consortium, including Aisha Thomas, Waldi Selassie, Tony Rotimi, who initiated dialogue with Leicester City Council's museum services, which brought about the conscript idea of Calabash, leading to the publication and website. Who's behind the funding? The Heritage Lottery Fund for the finance has made this project possible. We embrace and celebrate the contributions of some of the people who are in this room today, but many others too. The elders of the West Indian Senior Project, WISC, Mr Daly, Rosaria Beckford, I understand, is here today, hi. Alberta Brown, Sylvia Thomas and the management of the centre. Mrs Clarissa Nelson, whose memory gave the project life and energy. It's to their honour in recalling these stories, this publication and website is achievable. And it's from this oral legacy that we'll move from this generation to the next and for many more generations, because we've captured those memories. There's some special thanks that need to be said too. Special thanks to Pat Flynn, who was the head of libraries before myself, who led the project and helped to ensure that we secured Heritage Lottery funding, who've made this publication possible. And to the many people involved in the project, including some of the folks who are here today. Michael Maxwell, Damien Walters, Marcia Brown, Michael Lewis, Percy Thomas, Ruxana Jagat, Simon Parker, who's behind the camera there, Nirmala Bajani, Sally Mitchell and Juliet Braid from Leicester Caribbean Carnival. Thanks very much to all of those people. I could have told you, I've talked to you half an hour about how we got from here to there, but far more interesting is to hear some of the information from the people who pulled the project together, who collected those stories, and hopefully from some of the people who told the stories in the first place. So thank you very much, and thanks to all of those of you who put so much effort into what I think is an absolutely brilliant piece of work, and will have a great interest across the country. I'd like to hand on now to the coordinator of the project. Is Kanika here? No? Okay. And so, can we hear a little bit from...
Joan is.
Joan, could you say a little bit from your perspective, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. I've got my notes because it's the only way I'll remember it. I was thrilled and felt very privileged when Persephone invited me in a voluntary capacity to support the Calabash project with Kanika, assisting Kanika in the coordination and the interviewing process, gathering photographs and then liaising with the workers from the libraries, the writer, to putting the book together. So it's the first stage that we were in, and doing the interviews with the African Caribbean community senior citizens was a delight. Their stories, the memories, fascinating. I worked in community education in the 70s in Highfields, very diverse community, and always had an interest in oral history and natural remedies, so this was right up my street. But I learned much more from these wonderful memories told to both Kanika and myself for the project, of their parents, grandparents, gathering and using plants for healing. Some of these plants introduced to the Caribbean islands by their African ancestors, who secretly brought them over naturally. It had to be secret. Finally, I would like to say thank you to all those from the Caribbean community who gave their time, and especially sharing their memories and stories of the plants and their medicinal remedies. Rose, I've known many years. Mr. Daly, is he here? Yeah. Alberta and Sylvia. To Marcia, I'd say thank you, being the driving force behind the project, on top of full-time work. To Persephone for inviting me on board, and her steadfast belief in the project. All those involved, that support that she gave to all those involved for the completion of all of this project. I believe the resource of both the book and the website will be invaluable for many years. And thank you for inviting me again.